How's it going, YouTube? DMTombstone Belts back here again with a brand new video. Today is January 14th, which marks my 5-year anniversary here on YouTube. How odd for it to be 5 years already. Yeah, because January 14th, 2017 was when I first posted my first video of me making a hardcore title belt, and actually what spawned out into all of this, what you're seeing right now. So I thought, what's the better way to celebrate my 5-year anniversary here on YouTube? How about I react to my very first video from 5 years ago, from my very first DMTombstone Belt video. In fact, before I do that, how about I react to 5 videos? Since it's a 5-year anniversary, we react to some 5 old videos. Our 5th final video is going to be my first video though. We'll first start off with probably reacting to my homemade European title. This will be my first video. So here we go.
How's it going, YouTube? DMTombstone Belts back here again with a brand new video, and today
This is where I actually started calling myself DMTombstone Belts.
I'm a little sick today, so it's gonna be hard if you can hear me coughing a lot or us hacking up doing things. I apologize, but this I'm gonna show you basically my brand new belt that I just made, which was due to the how-to series.
Yeah, I made 2 how-to series, guys.
After I done making it, after helping you guys show you how you make your own custom belts. Some of you, like Thomas Morgan, wanted to know more about how to make certain belts, like the hardcore belt. And there's other people who came into, like WHC Randy Orton. Thanks for leaving your comment, man. Thank you for subscribing. And as well, you wanted to talk about how if I'm selling belts. Well, guys, I'm going to leave you with a special update at the end of this video. So basically, this is just a belt review of my brand new homemade belt, and as well giving you special news later at the end of this video. Well, anyway, guys, today we're going to review basically my homemade WWF European title that I just made from the how-to videos. So let's get to it. As you can see, these are all my belts that I made, and well, wait, why am I talking about these? Here it is, guys. Out of all these
I'm gonna
belts
pause it
I
for a
made,
moment, guys. Yeah, I don't know if the camera picks up, but if you see, those old school belts that are in there are still here. My WWE homemade spinner, my United States spinner, my hardcore, we'll talk about that one later, and of course my European Championship belt, which I believe to many people is the first ever homemade European belt on YouTube. Don't quote me on that, but I believe most people say it is. Let's continue.
it's funny. The fact that this belt was told me was a challenge to make because of one guy, Big C6.
Shout out to you, man.
For the suggestion, and I'd like to thank you, man, because I never thought I would do this, but this one's for you. I made this belt out of your suggestion. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you guys have a good lighting in this room. Let me try to see if I get better lighting.
Yeah, my old bedroom is...
Yeah, all the belts are on my bed right now. You can see here my traditional stamp. I also meant, like I said in my how-to videos, this is basically how all the belts are made. My stamp, the Nxt Championship belts.
Yeah, that was my old school way. How I didn't, how it originally was with me stitching the snap boxes on. And of course, I'm gonna tell you guys, that's not really my stamp reel. I just take like a silver Sharpie marker and signature on it and said Wwe Championship belts. Nowadays, it's a single the snap boxes are not stitched in, and of course my signature is done with paint to make it look like tooling. So yeah, I've changed over those 5 years, guys. So and I thought I would still probably make belts like that with the old school style gold duct tape instead of using this new mirror tape that I learned from the guy who watches my videos. Big shout out to Tyler Leday. So let's continue.
The first side plate. It actually is a 3D pop out. Most of the replica belts, I think they're flatter than these. But I made mine a little bit more pop out. Mostly if they were thin belts, I would usually not make them. Like big gold's a little bit too much of a hassle to do.
Yeah.
Because I don't have cardboard that's thin enough to do that. Here's the secondary side plate with the wrestler. You can see it a little bit. WWF logos. Yeah, as you can see, WWF logos. Mostly going with the white scratch logo. I mean, you could, if you're ever going to make this belt, like I mentioned in my how-to series, you could go with the regular gold version, but then again, you got to worry about the white lettering here. I mean, some gold paint can stick out from the gold metallic duct tape, and also you could do the block logo as well. It's all basically the same, and you can see all the flags. I don't know most of the I'm not going to tell you all the country's flags because I don't know a lot of them. I do know, I think this one is Germany.
Yeah, that is Germany.
Of course, I know like Italy, and I think this one is Switzerland, or it's this one. They both look the same. Here's Great Britain. I think this one is France. Ooh, I don't know anyone else's. I know that one probably Italy. Or is that one Italy? Well, guys, if you're from another country, I apologize. It's just that I don't know much of your country's flags. The only flag I know is this one. U.S. flag. And you see European.
American.
I might have screwed up a little bit there, but hey, I was following it, trying to follow as best as I can from a toy belt. And you can see the glow. The other side plate of grapplers, secondary side plate. And here's the property plate. Most of my belts, as you can see from my past 3 belts, I do have a property plate on them. Like the United States belt right here. A circular silvery side plate. WB logo. This one a burnt up block logo. The hardcore belt. And now a rectangular WWF property plate logo. Finally, I got all the property plates. From all certain type of logos. From the Iron Day block logo, scratch logo, the WWE scratch logo. And now there's no property plates for the network logo now.
That's true.
Also, people could tell me, why don't you just hit? Also, you could probably, just for shits and giggles, you could make it a WWE belt where it says entertainment, like a replica belt, where it could be the WWE scratch logo or the network scratch network, like the network logo. Anyway, let's flip it over. As you see, black backing. I was thinking about doing it like the real belts, usually made by a red backing, or as it was for the replica belts, had a green backing to it. But I thought I'd just stick with the regular black, because still, I mean, it's not fun in making my belt stick out. It's just that I'd rather do it, just stick to original feel. And of course, you can feel these. Remember I told you about the bolts? Yep, they're in there. And of course, you can see.
Yeah, guys, my ideal bolts was thumbtacks, hot glued to the back. And a little extra more hot glue so it makes that bump stick out. Yeah. And I said I don't want to make it different from other people who use black backing. As you recently see, for 2 of my belts, or actually 4 of my belts now that I have made now have different color backings. My ECW title with the brown leather backing because I couldn't find the snakeskin. But then when I did find snakeskin, used it for my Smoking Skull belt and my two UWW tag belts. Well, moving on.
The flexibility is on point. I mean, look at that. Well, guys, this is the point I'm going to pause the video and show you the belt around my waist and on the shoulder. So, see you in a few seconds. Hope you guys
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, I didn't have a proper setup, so you didn't see my head.
And here's the belt around my waist.
Yeah, try me out.
When it first came out, I don't know what year, maybe somewhere in the early 90s or late 80s. It was held by like British Bulldog, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Mark Henry, D'Lo Brown. I think mostly one of the Hardy boys, I think, Jeff Hardy. I think Matt Hardy held this as well. But a lot of them more like William Regal. It was an okay belt. I think Christian won it, DDP, Diamond Dallas Page. But hey, this is a good belt. And as well, this is a belt. I'm saying that like this, for the fact this is my fourth belt being made. This is the second belt I made that has the WWF logo. Basically, this is the second Attitude Era belt I have. Right here it is around the waist.
This is before I give you the stats of what about my belts.
I'm not a heavyweight. I'm under 200 pounds, so.
Oh, never mind. There it is.
So 46 inch waist. Usually.
Oh, so I guess I did still have the stats back then.
Measure it off from the replica belts. It's less than that. Well, I love it. But yeah, European title, guys. Big C6. I hope you enjoyed this video because this is what you've been asking for. Yes, you shall receive. Well, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Oh, wait, I almost forgot to mention. Big update, guys.
Oh.
Well, allow me to sit in my chair and come over here. Well, guys, most of you have been wondering about, especially when I was talking about WHC Randy Orton. You want to know if I'm selling belts. Well, guys, there's one big problem about that. You see, WHC Randy Orton, like every other person that made belts on YouTube, like all you see, especially the big one like Paul Martin, who makes his belts out of wood in his previous videos, you can't sell belts with logos on them unless the logos are customly made for the buyer. If it's WWF, WCW, TNA, any of those logos are on the belt, you can't sell them because of copyright problems and all that shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Being blunt with that.
I could leave them blank. You could do it on at home. It's pretty easy. I showed you how you do it on my how-to series, but
Yeah, it's true.
it's simple as that. I can't sell belts with logos on them unless they're either custom belts with your own custom logos, or if it's a WWE related belt or WWF related belt, I gotta take the logos off. And
Yeah, I'm gonna skip that, guys. Well, anyway, that one was brief of when the time I was trying to sell belts. The thing is, I actually gave away belts. You know, from my belt giveaways. I made 3 Undisputeds. I still own the original. The second one I made would add weights to it. I gave it away to the 100 subscriber of my channel. And the third one, I gave it to a former person, the WWF. It was a WWF Undisputed. Gave that away to somebody. Not going to talk about him. And of course, there was I made 3 US spinners. I still own the original. I own now the revisit, but the second one I made, Oh yeah, and also 3 hardcore belts. My original, the one I gave away to my buddy Frank, the one I gave away to Tyler the Day with that spinner belt. So, obviously, yeah, I'm still looking for times when I want someone to buy a belt from me. And obviously, I can't say you're not going to get the best quality because it's just cardboard and tape. But it's the closest you can get to looking like an actual ring used belt without the high cost. I'll tell you that for sure. But that was my homemade European belt. Then let's see, do I have we're gonna do a homemade custom belt. This is my first homemade custom belt, guys.
DMTombstone Belts back here again with a brand new video today.
Now the face is more in the picture.
I'm just showing off a belt I've just recently made. It's nothing you have seen yet on YouTube, if anything.
Well, if you guys remember, this is my original set place, and I did a video of it saying goodbye to it. And most of you have been here since day one of my YouTube channel. You probably remember this old house. Now I'm in a new house in my new room.
Well, I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'd rather just show it and tell you about it when it's revealed. I got it on the bed right now, and I'm just going to show you guys for the first time. You guys are going to see a belt that's probably never been seen on YouTube yet. Hopefully not, but let's just reveal it.
Well, yeah, because I made it myself.
Guys, here it is in this red cloth. It's underneath it, and it's time for the big reveal. And that's right, guys. It's a custom-made belt. It's the YouTube Championship belt that I've recently made. And I'm going to just, these are just the side plates right there that can easily be changed out. These are the main plates right here, the play buttons, but underneath it is my custom DMTombstone Belts side plates.
Yeah, guys, I always think about if there's a chance for me to revisit my custom belts, like if I ever revisit my YouTube belt, maybe I want to redo the side plates. I mean, yeah, it does look like a tombstone for those, but anything, maybe try to do it with my new logo, looking like the WWE center plate belt, or the new network logo belt for it, except with just the W over into an M, an entire D and T, so like DMT for DM Tombstone. But all in good time, and as well, I still own the original YouTube belt. I made a second one, if you guys remember, and surprised you guys came at me for all the time. I gave that one to Angry Grandpa, but it was now, but I sent it way after he passed away, back in 2017, I believe. Yeah, it was 2017. So, wow, I think it was actually 4 years ago. To think, and Grandpa passed away around the time I was making YouTube videos. Thing is, he actually passed away a couple months after this video, and I made a YouTube belt, but his custom side plates was the Angry Grandpa logos on both sides. And I did a video of me reacting to Michael opening up that belt, and a lot of people, and that first time seeing that, I was shocked to see him actually display my homemade belt on his channel, to which I had my whole YouTube, like one video of my YouTube, just had the comment section blow up saying, Michael's looking for you. Do you have a Twitter? And all that. And guys, that one that whole incident is the reason why I have a Twitter page now, where I've opened up my Twitter page to now have Michael Green, aka Kid Behind the Camera, follow me. And to think that I never thought I would blow up so fast on YouTube for doing something as gracious as I did by giving Michael Green a homemade belt that represented for his grandpa. I mean, for Angry Grandpa. For something like a YouTube title. I mean, they're big wrestling fans. I'm a big wrestling fan. And I know YouTube, it's like all about those plaques, the play buttons and that. I want to have my own little style with it, with the YouTube Championship. But anyway, let's continue on with this.
You see my name on the tombstone. It's cracked and all. DMTombstone Belts. And these are screwed in. Anyway, we'll just go to review with the belt. Here you see my stamp Wwe Championship belts. With the red leather. There's a white snap box with 2x8 snaps, silver snaps. And as you see the side plate there with the diagonal diamond pattern on it, makes it really look cool. The screws here, like on the WWE belts, you see, like the Cruiserweight title, the Universal title, the WWE Championship. Easily screw out and just pop your plate in. Here's the center plate with the YouTube logo. I try to do as best as I can. The play button done with all jewels I have. As you can see, how it just sparkles in the light. Champion, the borderline exactly like the side plates here with the diamond pattern. The other
Yeah, this belt had no tooling too. My old belts never had tooling. Now I wish to go back and make the tooling like they would do on the actual belts.
Silver tip. Of course, you gotta do a silver tip, and as well, as you can see, these plates. I got the curve.
It's actually my first belt I did to have a perfect curve because the old belts never had curves because it was hard to put a curve in them because they always been flat.
Yeah, I'm trying to do this. You can see right there.
This is the perfect belt with a curve. Now most of my belts have curves, unless they're like spinners, so those ones got to stay flat.
As well, you can see how flexible it is. Anyway, guys, let me flip it over. And you can see red stitching all on the back side on this white, smooth, white vinyl backing. Snap box, the female side uncovered. You can barely see, you see little bumps there. It's the bolts, or so-called bolts. But you can see how flexibility is. Yeah, guys. But I'm gonna. Now it's probably time for me to pause the video and show it is around my shoulder and the waist, so I'll see you in a few seconds. Alright guys, here I am. Hope you guys can see me a little bit better. I hanged up the camera a little bit so you can see more of the belt and the shoulder. So here it is in hand.
Yeah, doing the lighting, especially with the natural lighting from the sun, and a belt like that still shine, it was not a good idea.
Yeah, big heavy. I was going to do this for, well, maybe thought about making another belt like this and probably give it to a well-known YouTuber.
See?
And I know, in fact, this probably ain't a good belt for me because, one, I'm not a big YouTuber, but I have like millions of subscribers.
Nope. And I got about over 250 now. Hopefully soon to get to 300.
Right there, hangs low on the shoulder. Now, see if I can go around my waist. This like yesterday or a couple days ago.
Just need to see if we're still recording.
I think it finishes yesterday. So here it is, now around the waist. Easily change out the side plates. You can make custom plates for many YouTubers like Angry Grandpa, Keep on the Camera, PewDiePie, and all the other YouTubers.
You're just wearing off most of the YouTubers that I watch, except PewDiePie. I never watch PewDiePie. Only when he does collabs with other YouTubers. I know, shocker, right?
And end the video. Alright?
You guys don't want to see what happens at the end of the video. Just literally talking about other stuff. That was about, that's video number 2. let's do video number 3, which is my homemade WWE Championship spinner belt, which I've done way before I did a YouTube video. So let's go on with this.
How's it going, YouTube? Game week back at it here again with
Okay. My first few videos is actually where I started with my actual name, Daniel Mead, for the channel before I changed it up because there were so many Daniel Meads on YouTube for some reason. So I switched it up to DMTombstone Belts.
Championship belt review. My last 2 videos, which I said, I got a lot of good views. And also, there was 2 comment. There was 1 comment football videos from a guy who's like, keep up the good work, and he also made an idea about making a homemade European title. I'm going to give him a shout out to Big C6 for leaving a comment below.
Still OG Big C6 for my channel, even all these years later.
I don't have the materials right now, but I'll keep your idea in mind. The fact that if I do get the materials.
I think, guys, when I was doing this video, I was actually still in college, and I was worked at another job than the job I was working at right now. I was actually working at a fast food restaurant at a time. I was the cook at this time. I don't think at this time. And this is before I had actually met my girlfriend that you've seen once on this channel. But sorry, guys, I had to fix something on my bed. But anyway, this is around the time when I was still attending college. I think this was my final year into college, before or something or like that. And of course, I was working at a fast food restaurant.
About trying that out. So don't think I'm promising you to make a belt, make a video. I'm just telling you, I'm keeping your idea in mind. I just got a lot of things on my hands right now, but I'm keeping your idea in mind.
That's what I did the how-to series with that making that belt.
This belt I've been taken to many WWE shows. Well,
that's true.
2 WWE shows I've been to, which is most recent of 2 SmackDowns I've been to. Hopefully to take it to Raw when it comes here in March. Anyway, this is my homemade WWE Championship spinner belt. Let's go on with the review.
Yeah, that was my original belt I took to WWE shows before I go there with my new belts.
Know about the belt, its history, where John Cena won the championship at WrestleMania 21. He debuted at this one. And it's been through altercations with the rated R spinner, where it had different side plates or the straps and silver plate and all, with a silver tip. But this one was most recent one before it was retired and then given to be made at. The Rock won it. He retired it and debuted the big logo belt. Anyway, what's going on with this review here with a 2x8 silver snap box with my DMTombstone Championship belt stamp. You can already see by the sides, these plates are.
Yeah, I made my belt look as TV accurate as possible because the real belt on TV had thick plates. And you guys see, I still have my homemade WWE Championship spinner today. And obviously, guys, this is the one belt I may think about wanting to revisit. It's the only final homemade belt that I haven't revisited because I've revisited my European and, of course, my hardcore, which I got right here. My US spinner, which I got right here as well. The final belt to revisit is this. Maybe an option on the belt giveaway, guys. The final revisit belt to do. But anyway, I'm going to put this back up and continue the video.
Really thick. Yeah, for this belt, it was like on TV, the plates were really thick.
Oh yeah, and just note, I know the belt doesn't look that accurate of shape. I literally did the measurements all on my own. I didn't have a replica belt to trace off of at the time, so the belt looks a little bit oddly shaped, and it's maybe oversized.
The jewels here on the side. And you can see here, I have my own personal nameplate, which actually could screw in. You unscrew it and put another plate in.
All right, no, for the screw of the side plate, that's the actual last thing I've updated on this belt. before I did it with stones. Thing was, the plate was actually not screwable. It was hot glued on, but then when I made my own little custom nameplate on that, I ripped that piece off, cut into the belt to put little nuts in there. So then when I put screws in it, it can screw a nameplate on. So that's where I started with nameplates.
They're like under this, like deep within the plate. I put some bolts in there, or put some nuts in there. And also, when you screw it in, it'll be tightened in there. So you get your own nameplate under here. There's the other side plates. Okay. 2x5 silver snaps. Flip it over. You already know the materials like cardboard with metallic duct tape and leather-like material you get at a fabric store.
This is before I put bolts, so that was perfectly flat on the back.
See how flexibility it is. Well, anyway, we're going to pause the video and show it on the shoulder and the waist. Okay, guys, so here's the belt in hand. You see the sun outside. You see how it like sparkles the sun.
Yeah, but they can barely see the belt.
You know, for all the people that held this belt, like Triple H, Randy Orton, Edge, Miz, Rey Mysterio, CM Punk, The Rock, Alberto Del Rio. None of them really were Rob Van Dam. None of them actually looked good with the belt, except John Cena, because it was his belt. I'd also like to tell you that, again, in my other videos, I'm not a heavyweight. I'm mostly in the cruiserweight range, and so this would fit. Most of my homemade belts would fit up to a 46-inch waist. So I measured it from replica belts. Here it is around the waist, and it's not that bad of a looking belt. A lot of people thought it looked kind of ugly at first, but then yeah. The Rock debuted it, and before he debuted the big logo belt, he always said that this belt looked like a toy. But to me, I was a kid growing up with this belt. And John Cena was holding this belt and all. And it does look kind of cool. For me. For others, maybe not. Well, anyway.
He's going to do one last run through. No need to see all that. How about, I know you guys don't want to watch the original of the spinner. How do you guys want to see what my original belt collection was before I grew it out?
How's it going, YouTube? Danny back here again. In this video, I'm going to do two things. One, tell you about my homemade belt status so far, of what I'm going to be doing, and reviewing my replica belts that I have. First off, I'm going to start off with the belt status. First of all, today I watched a video from Big C6, which I made, who I gave a shout out in my other videos. Made a reference of. He did a shout out today in my video, basically, in his video. All the video was about basically giving me a shout out and his status so far of his. I'd like to thank you, man. I'm really speechless of what you did for me, of giving me a shout out, man. I'm really.
Yeah, it's my first time getting a shout out from another person that watches my YouTube videos. I watched his channel and he gave me a shout out, so thanks to him.
Please check out Big C6, this channel. I don't know if I can put a link in the description below, but you search it up in all caps, Big C6. Also, for you guys watching my videos, I'd like to thank you too. In fact, I didn't even think you guys would be literally doing a lot. They haven't given my videos a lot of views. My second video I've done, my God, it has more views than I ever thought it would do. So keep it up, guys. You're surprising me every day.
Yeah, this is about almost 5 years ago. And the thing I was saying, most views on that one belt was like almost a couple thousand. And to think now, one of my belts actually has over 3,000 views. The old me would have been flipping for joy.
And also, thank you for leaving a comment below. Like I mentioned, BC6. I like to also mention the other guy who leave the comment below, saying that looks pretty cool. I'm just only going to say half his name. it's the Legend 27. His other half I don't want to say because of obvious reason. But Legend 27.
Yeah, I don't want to say it still. Why? Because
don't forget to look him up.
Because no one knows don't want this video to not make it to YouTube because of what I say.
I was doing up in the status. Like Nxt Tag Team told me he wanted me to make probably a European belt. This is what I got down so far on this.
That's my old fancy way of making belts was this like a foam cardboard material. Well, it's foam board, guys.
There's the center plate and the 2 side plates.
That shit don't not bend or curve whatsoever without probably splitting down the middle because it's basically 2 pieces of paper sandwiched into. Let me just pause that for a minute. That's my old style belt making with foam boards. Never again. Because basically all that is 2 pieces of paper, sandwiched with a bit of styrofoam put in between it. So the styrofoam does not bend. And when you try to bend it, it just snaps. So, not a good thing for bending. That's why I went to cardboard, and that's how you get perfect curves. Let's continue.
Anyway, this is the outline of the belt. I can't do a lot through this time because of me with work now involved with my job and my schooling. Maybe I should have mentioned I go to school, college, and I go.
Oh, still in college.
But within my free time, I may do a little bit here and there. But when I do get the belt probably almost finished, or when I do get it all set up to get the stuff, maybe I'll do a how-to video. I may. I'm not saying I may. I will. But anyway, that's it. Well, anyway, let's go on with my replica belts. Let's get on with those. I'm just gonna show you guys these belts. I'm not gonna talk a lot about them because a lot of time, but
I still have those belts. The one was a commemorative. I still have that one. It's just not being displayed. I actually got it in the closet. So I still have the commemorative. I still have the US, which you see many times. I actually recently done a paint mod on that. The big logo belt you still see in the display case. Undisputed in the display case. The Intercontinental I still have. I still have all my original belts. I never give away my belts. But to think, I actually had like, well, let me see. How many did I have?
May. I will. Anyway, that's it. Well, anyway, let's go on with
Let me try to count how many belts I had in his original video. This is my original belt collection. 1, 2.
I'm not just gonna. I'm just.
5. There's 5 belts I had here in this collection. Now I got. About 24 replica belts. 1 commemorative and 1 child size belt. So, how to think my collection grew 5 times bigger than it did 5 years ago. 5, 5,
Here's my
25.
Wwe United States Championship replica belt. Yeah, most of the belts I own are replicas except for one. The big gold right there is a commemorative. I wish. I like to own replicas, but this one I got him from a friend. He gave it to me for about $50. I was like, yeah, why not? I mean, it's one belt I don't have. If I ever run into a replica of this belt, I may think about just selling this one.
Yeah, my buddy of mine did sell me that, $50, and then he gave me. And then the next video, he gave me his replica because he had a replica. He gave me the commemorative. And then when he gave me the replica, it was $100. So, and then I got my own custom name plate for the big gold where I could screw it from the front. My old one was from Wrestling Superstore that screwed from the back. I just put that one on the commemorative. There we go.
Because I wouldn't mind. Because to me, whoever buys commemorative, might as well just stick with the Mattel versions, because that's basically what it is. It's an updated version of Mattel. Anyway, what's going on with this? The United States Championship belt. There's 3 flaws I miss about this belt. The triangles.
Hold on a second, guys. Let's see. What's the flaws of it now?
They need to be swapped out of color from the background.
Did that.
2. Why is there WWE Championships stamp plate, right? I mean, stamping around the thing. Should be shell tooling.
Well, that one, Daniels, because I didn't get it re-leathered yet.
And 3, where's the gold tip? This one needs a gold tip, guys.
I got a gold tip on this one
We need to
now.
work that out. What I like about this, okay, now here's the WWE Intercontinental Belt. This one, I wish I would have gotten before this one. Because this one, still, I love this one.
I love all my belts, guys.
Because of 2 things. Well, one thing. One. The toolbox, look at that. Stamp tooling. Unlike these ones that have stitched on patches.
Yeah.
What these belts need is something like this. You guys may need to do that.
I
You need to start
believe
doing
that
this.
WWE has stepped up
Give
for
you
that.
some design ideas. This one as well is a replica. We'll go back here. Here's my WWE Undisputed Championship version 1. Why you say version 1? Well, as you can see here on the outline, there's no gold. There's no black outline around the plates, which was to version 2.
That's what the Undisputed originally looked like before I did a paint removal mod on it to make it look more TV accurate. And yeah, it is a version 1. The version 1 was a WWF version, but this one had to be WWE because due to copyrights. The version 1 because it's smaller than the version 2 you see on WWE Shop right now, and plus 2, there's that no black outline around the plates, which then the Undisputed 2 through 4 had.
2, 3, and 4. And property plate. The version 2 had one, but it had black outline as well. But this was the version 1. I got this.
The version 3 and 4 didn't have a
for
property
about
plate.
$100. If you wanted to sell this to someone, but he's like the first person you thought of is like anyone that should have this belt, it should probably be me. So he offered me $100. I gave him $100, and this now is my belt. So thanks, man. Thank you for both these championship belts. Deserve it. And here is this one. It's my first replica belt that I got.
Yeah, that was my first replica
WWE
belt,
World
my oldest
Heavyweight
belt.
Championship belt. Well, now WWE Championship belt. I really love this belt. In fact, for a FIGS ink strap, it really folds in on itself. It's probably because of the heaviness of the plates, because this thing is heavy. It's about as much as this one, and this one.
Yeah.
This
I said that belt was heavy, and then I underestimated when I got the WWE spinner, when I got the new United States title belt, and of course the ECW championship. That belt almost weighed like nothing compared to those belts. I'd say out of my collection, the lightest belt so far now is the Nxt Tag Team Belt. It's the lightest belt I've ever held up. Literally, I picked that thing up like nothing. Some belts, it's like a little bit more of a stroll, but that belt, I feel like I could fling it across the whole house with it. And if I had the door open, it'd probably still fly out the door.
one I said was a lot heavier.
And you can see this is what the original stock looked like for the WWE Championship. This is before I got my custom side plates on my belt and the fondue sidebars, which now I added to all my recent belts that have the sidebars.
And I like how for big jewels, it really does shine in the sun.
Not
Alright,
like
guys.
real jewels.
That's all the rambling I got for today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, not like the original. Not like my Restone WWE spinner, I don't. But guys, let me check one more thing. I gotta make sure we're still recording. Just in case I might have to. Yep, we're still recording. Well, guys, now it's time for the main event. And this one being my very first DMTombstone Belt video. When I first uploaded to YouTube for the very first time, and it's me doing a review on my homemade WWF Hardcore belt. And this is the original belt. Let's go on.
How's it going, YouTube? Dan Lee here. And today, this is my first video I'm just going up on my channel. And what I'm going to be doing is mostly reviewing my homemade belts. All I do is review wrestling belts. It's mostly WWE wise. Because I've been a huge fan with WWE since I was a kid growing up with that era, like Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock, to nowadays with Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and AJ Styles. Anyway, I mostly like to review my homemade belts because it all began when we were wearing kids' belts. They were always so small when we were getting older. And then the replica belts, they were always too expensive. So I was like, hey, why don't I make my own? Which actually was the idea for one of my belts that I'm not going to review in this video because it's going to take some time. I mean, I don't want to make a longer video. I'll probably review the other belts in the next video, so some other time. Well, anyway, I'm going to be reviewing my homemade WWF Hardcore belt. And here's the reason why, because I watched a YouTube video of a kid who actually was reviewing a replica belt of this, the WWE version of it. I left a comment in there saying they don't.
Yeah, and how odd that when I start doing these videos with the hardcore belt and that, now they brought back the replica on WWE Shop. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you are like, you know, why don't you get that one and compare it to your homemade ones? Well, it's not like I want to have a trifecta of hardcore belts in my room. I have the trifecta of Intercontinentals, trifecta of the US's. But maybe in a good time when I have more space in this room, I may think about getting that. But here we go.
I don't sell these anymore, so that's why I made my own. One guy replied to it saying make a video, so special thanks. So I say thanks, Tin Relic 1, for replying to my comments about making a video. So this one is for you. So let's start by looking at the belt. See here my Nxt Championship belt stamp. Got a snap box. And it's always a hassle to get the snaps because the really best bet to get the snaps was at Walmart because they're like cheap for $5. Anywhere else, like Meijer, Joann's, Michael's are like $8, and they don't even have. Walmart's comes with 8, while they're come with 7. Side plate with, you see a little bit of red in there. You can see right here and the blue there, the red splotch there. That's just smeared on fabric paint that you use on like fabrics. It almost feels like a gel type of feel. Anyway, you see here the plates. These plates are just cardboard with metallic duct tape, which I use. All my homemade belts are just styrofoam or cardboard type plates wrapped in gold or silver metallic duct tape, which I'll review the other belts later in another video. As you can see here, you can see etching the WWF logo. Right here, you see like these black marks. You can see on all the plates. Like those are real burn marks. I actually just take a lighter and go to the plate and burn it. Here's the other side plate, WWF logo, duct tape there. There's WWF logos. And you can see this is, and of course the famous hardcore title, hardcore champion right there. Even though you don't barely see the seat. It looks like it's Champion. As you can see, this hardcore belt was made from a Winged Eagle replica that they smashed up. A lot of people thought this was the belt that Kurt Hennig or Mr. Perfect smashed on a Saturday Night Main Event in the backstage with a hammer. No, that belt was sold to a private collector. This was just the replica that WWE smashed up and gave to Mick Foley. Here would have said World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion. It took a lot of effort to do this. I actually take a push pin, dip it in gold paint, and actually have to somewhat scratch it in there. That took a lot of time and effort. Here's the bar that's been broken off here with the tape. It actually feels bent. Here more burned blades of duct tape. But here's the logo plate, which I actually took from Paul Martin. when he made his homemade belt, which was made
Yeah,
out of wood,
I
not
based
Hallmark.
my belts off of when Hallmark made his homemade wood belts
If you could look at his channel,
on his original channel, when
you
it
can
was
see here,
ECW
really
#1.
burned. I actually just kept a lighter on there and the longest time and burnt this snap box with a burnt gold tip. See, flipping in the back, backing here, duct tape there. You feel the backing, there's little bumps in it. Those are just my style bolts. Yeah, why I put the quotes, because they're not really bolts. All they are is just thumbtacks that I hot glued into the back of the plate to make it feel like there's bolts. So, well, that's basically it. And you can see how flexibility is wise with this, because it's a hardcore belt. There's not much plates there. It's a broken belt, basically. Anyway, I'm going to pause the video, and I'm going to show you what it is on my shoulder and around the waist. So, I'll see you in a bit. Alright, guys, so I hope you guys can see me in photo.
Now, yeah, my first time you just see my face, but you don't see the belt around my waist.
How flexible it is.
I'll change over the years.
Basically, you're playing this stuff around. And for this, it really looks good on the waist. You can see right there in the back. Just flops over my shoulder.
I really took my hardcore belts probably more times than any other belt. Other than my ECW, my US Spinner, which I brought a couple times. Undisputed, brought it a couple times. I even brought my custom Stanley Cup title belt. Maybe once or twice to the WWE event. Smoked Skull a couple times.
Right now, I'm not a heavyweight.
Oh, so it actually was from the beginning when I did my stats.
And this is, I made this belt to fit around maybe a 46-inch waist. And I'm mostly a cruiserweight. I'm under 200 pounds. So, this could easily fit around my waist. There it is. There it is. My waist.
Like, what am I spinning around? Nobody can see the belt around my waist.
Actually, that stuff brings me back to the time when I had seen this, when Al Snow was defending this on Backlash against Hardcore Holly.
I was actually watching that on VHS. Everyone knows what VHS is, right?
When Tommy Dreamer had this belt, with the, well, not this type of belt, but he was the Hardcore Champion, defended it one last time against Rob Van Dam, unification match. Well, I'm going to show you one last run through, and I'm going to end the video. There you go, from the snap box to stamp, plates with the duct tape and pin and burn marks. If you guys want to see my other two homemade belts, you can probably leave a comment below. Also leave a comment below what you think of this belt. And there we go. That's my homemade WWF Hardcore belt. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment what do you think, and subscribe. And I'll see you. This is Dan Meats. I'm going to see you guys in the next video.
Well, well, guys, that is it for this video as well. But I think it all started with this belt 5 years ago. Flat plates on some vinyl, stitched together with snaps, and then how it evolved to using much better tape and actually add some design more into my design. Where my old belts didn't have tooling, so now they do. So, and it's all because of you guys. You guys that's been keeping me going for 5 years straight. I wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for you guys. How I evolved is because you guys made me evolve to doing better. And I've been through a lot these 5 years, guys. I mean, been through a couple relationships, some family issues, which I've seen many times on this. Been to big places. Just recently, you seen my previous video from this year, equivalent to last year, where I traveled out of state and traveled through the United States. And been to some big events, even been to one pay-per-view. And I can't believe, guys, how, and plus too, how I have to deal with the world evolving too. like with the recent pandemic that happened back in 2020. And even going through another job and all that. It's like we are growing up through these 5 years, like as like you and me, guys, we've been through this together. And I'd be glad for more years to come for this channel. I don't know how long I may want to do this, but 5 years here on YouTube, I'm shocked the fact that it's like, I know some other YouTubers been here for like 12 or even since day one when YouTube was released. But anyway, for those that have been on you, that have been watching me throughout these 5 years, all I gotta say is thank you. And as well, I'm gonna tell you right now, updating what's gonna be happening in a couple of days' time. I'll be receiving something in the mail, and hopefully, may do a comparison with this item with one of the items I already have. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Don't forget to leave a comment below. And as well, follow me on my social media platforms, like on Twitter at DMTombstone96, and as well on Instagram at DME96. I am DM Tombstone Belts. I'll see you guys in the next video.